Example B. We want to find the equation f of x equals a times x minus h squared plus k for a parabola that passes through the given point and has the given vertex. All right, so we know that this is vertex form. They want us to write it in vertex form, giving a point somewhere on the parabola. And remember, the parabola is just a U-shaped graph, and it has the given vertex. Remember, the vertex was either your maximum or your minimum, but it is your point in the middle. Okay, so if this is my point and this is my vertex, the vertex in vertex form is the h and the k. So they have given me the h is 0 and the k is -4. They have also given me a point. Whenever we have a point, and that point is just somewhere on the graph, this one is -12, 8. The point is going to be your x and your y coordinate. You just have an x, a y, a h, a k. All right, we know that we can swap out function notation for just a plain old y equals. So let's say that instead of f of x, to help us out here, we're just going to call it y, because we're used to seeing x's and y's. So y equals a times the x minus h squared plus the k. Our goal is going to be to fill in the a, the h, and the k. I've already got the h and the k. I'm going to have to use what I know to figure out what I don't. And what I don't know is the a. So if I fill in what I do have, I know that y is 8. So 8 equals, I don't know a, that's what this is all about, trying to find my a. X, I know x is -12, minus the h, I know h is 0. So I'm filling in the h is 0, squared, plus my k, and again, I know k is -4. Now with me, so we'll just fill into the formula everything that we know to find the one variable that we don't. So I'll just simplify this. So 8 equals a times -12 minus 0, which is going to be -12 squared, and that'll just be a -4. All right, I'm trying to solve for a, so let's add the 4. We'll add 4. 8 plus 4 gives me 12, so I have 12 equals a times, and -12 squared is going to be a positive 144. All right, I'm almost there. If I want a all alone, it's being multiplied by 144, so I would need to divide by 144. That'll cancel it out. Whatever I do to one side, I must also do to the other, and that leaves me with a all alone is 12 over 144, which will reduce to 1 over 12. Great. So now I know that a is 1 over 12. Now I can rewrite my formula again in the form that they wanted. So I will call it f of x. I fill in my a. My a was the number 1/12. 1/12. I leave the x in the, well, the x, because there's no y, we're calling it f of x. So I leave the x minus the h. I fill in the h was 0, squared, and then plus k. Again, k was -4, so I'm just going to say -4. That is my answer in vertex form. All right, let's try another. Wasn't so bad. We just want to fill in everything that we know, my x, my y, my h, and my k, and that will help me to find my a. And once I have my a, I rewrite my equation with my a, my h, and my k filled in. Everything except for the x and the f of x. The x and the f of x are going to stay. Everything else will be filled in with the actual number. So, B2. Let's say that your point was 2, -1, and your vertex was 4, negative 3. Okay, so if we do this, I want to write the general formula here. I'm going to say y equals ax minus h squared plus k. And I will fill in everything I know. Okay, I know that my point is my x coordinate and my y coordinate, and my vertex is my h and my k. So instead of y, I'm going to fill in the number negative 1 equals a, I don't know, that's the point to solve it. X is the number 2 minus h. H is the number 4. So fill in the x, I fill in the h. In the parentheses, squared plus the k, and the k is the number negative 3. All right, so I'll just simplify what I have. So what I have is negative 1 equals the a times 2 minus 4 is going to give me a negative 2 inside the parentheses, plus negative 3, that's just going to be a minus 3. I need to solve for a, so I will add the 3, because that will cancel that out. Add the 3. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. So I have 2 equals a times, and negative 2 squared is a positive 4. Then here, a times 4, so I will divide by 4 to get a all alone. And what I end up with is a 2 over 4, which we know reduces into a 1/2. Now I'll go back, I will fill in my a, my h, my k, again everything but the f of x. So my vertex form is f of x equals a is now 1/2 x minus the h, which was the 4, squared, and at the end it's supposed to be plus k, but my k is a negative 3, so I'll say minus 3. And that is vertex form. All right, number 3 will be a star. I'll write that at the end because I want to do one more for you. This lesson also correlates with one of your assignments, which is J15 and IXL. J15 is Algebra 2 and IXL, and that's one of your assignments for the week. It looks very similar to this here, so you want to watch this video to learn how to solve that. Again, number 3 will be for you guys to try out. You can answer in Google Classroom. On number 3, your point would be 3, 5, and your vertex would be negative 1, 7. Negative 1, 7. That is the star. All right, I will do one more because I want to show you if you're trying to get to 90 and above on your J15, you're going to come into problems with fractions. Oh no! Fractions. All right, so the point, say your point is negative 4, negative 31 over 16. And your vertex is negative 3, negative 2. All right. We can do this. We would have the equation y equals a x minus h squared plus k. We'll fill in everything we know to figure out what we don't, which is the a. So the point is always going to be your x and your y. Your vertex will always be your h and your k. Y. Y is the number negative 31 over 16. A, I do not know. X is the number negative 4 minus h. H is a negative 3. What happens when we subtract a negative? It turns into a positive, right? Okay, then plus k, and k is a negative 2, so plus a negative 2 is just going to be a minus 2. All right? So let's try to simplify this. Nothing I can do with that negative 31 over 16. It is what it is. I have a Negative 4 plus 3, oh, that's just negative 1 squared and minus 2. I need to add 2 to both sides. Add 2. Hopefully you have a calculator, but if you do not, hold on a second. We'll add 2. If I don't have a calculator, let's think about this. Instead of 2, this 2 right now is over 1, right? And I want it to have the same denominator as the 16, so I would multiply the top and the bottom over 16. 2 times 16 is 32. So it would be like a positive 32 over 16 and then minus the 31 over 16, which would give me 32 minus 31 is just 1 over 16, right? So this just becomes 1 over 16 equals a times, and negative 1 squared is just a positive 1. So if I divide by positive 1, I really still just have 1 over 16. My a is 1 over 16. And so if a is 1 over 16, if a over 1 is 1 over 16, then my final equation, again, they used f of x, equals, I'll fill in my a, which is 1 over 16, x minus, my h was a positive, well, I'm sorry, my h was a negative 3. So when we subtracted the negative, that made a plus 3 in there, squared. And at the end, it's supposed to be plus k, but my k is a minus 2, so minus 2. All right, so the fractions weren't that scary. I hope you understand.